Hi everyone, this is Iradian and this is a sampler tutorial for phase plant. So phase plant is pretty cool because it has a sampler, and this sampler is really nice. It's nice for making multi-sample instruments. So if you load in like a couple samplers and let's say like you can load in a few samples and play them at the same time. It makes this kind of instrument really easy and I like it a lot. There's a factory library of samples that comes with phase plant, so you can get started with the sampler right away, but you can also add in your own samples. That will probably be something to try out. Add in some instruments that you have in your sample library or whatever. Try things out, because the cool thing about the sampler is you can FM them, phase mod them. Let's say I add in an analog oscillator. I can modulate it and change it. Not the best on a tambourine, but if I try something else, so you can basically FM samples, which is pretty neat. The samples that come with phase plant, the roots are already given for you, but if let's say you have like a different sample and you want to figure out the root pitch, you can change the root pitch in here, and once these blue and gray waveforms line up, then it's supposed to be in pitch. This one's already tuned to C, but say I add in something else. If you added in something that wasn't tuned to C, you would have to tune it yourself. Like I said, the factory samples are already tuned for you, which is pretty useful. Open up this folder, or open up the folder. It'll open your file explorer and you can find your own samples, and if you want to save a sample, you click this save icon and you can save them. These 5 parameters are back from the noise and the wavetable and the analog oscillators, so that's useful. And then you have sample offset, which will change the place where the sample starts playing. Then we have looping. So by default, for most of the samples, loop is off, but then you have a few kinds of looping. So infinite will keep looping the sample from one point to another, so once it gets to the right point, it'll go back to the left and cycle its way through. Sustain, what it will do is it'll play the sample, and let's say I do this. It'll loop the sample in between the 2 points. It's similar to infinite. Ping pong, I believe, does it. It'll start from the first loop point. It'll go scroll, like play through its looping section. Then it will go backwards to the left point, and that's where the name ping pong comes from. It's back and forth type of motion. Reverse only plays it from right to left instead of left to right like usual. And then you can crossfade to get rid of clicks. You can change the start and the end points of the loop by changing these 2 knobs below your icon, your looping icon, and then you can lock your root pitch. You can lock them and lock the loop. Lock the loop. Yeah, that's kind of a tongue twister if you're stupid like me. Yeah, that's it. See ya.